And here we go, Ford fans. Gauze Garage coming to you on a beautiful Thursday evening here in South Florida with a special feature on two Boss 302 Mustangs. I want to start off and let you know that when NASCAR was the hot ticket for racing, but then also there was a separate event called Trans-American Sedan Championship Series created by John Bishop in the year of 1966. It was sanctioned through the SCCA, Sports Car Club of America, and what you had is these two-door pony cars that came out. They were joined by the likes of Plymouth, Dodge. You had Pontiac out there, AMC, and all the major manufacturers were putting out these two-door sedans to go racing on the racetrack. And quite literally, these are bodies you could recognize. So, you win on Sunday, you sell on Monday. Well, anyway, these two cars are street versions of the race cars. And they had a rule to be able to race on the racetrack. You had to put so many out on the street. So that's called homologation. Homologation is nothing more than the rules of so many cars need to put out on the street. That way you could race them on the racetrack. These are the street versions of the race cars. And looking at this one on the right, this is Grabber Orange, one of the three Grabber colors offered by Ford. These were the premium colors, the ones that grabbed you. And you had Grabber Blue, Grabber Orange, and this one is Grabber Orange, and then you also had Grabber Green. So, taking a look at this, they have all kinds of special equipment on it. Standard engine was the 302 Boss, and the Boss engine was very special. It was a stroker from the factory. And it's the only time that a 302 engine got a 4-bolt main. It was a special block, thin wall with high nickel for lightweight, and the freeze plugs were screw-in. And that was meant because the freeze plugs were part of the integrity of the block. And you had special ribbing, and anyway, a high winder. You had all kinds of special pistons in it, and big heads. And Larry Shinoda, the guy that actually designed them, took pre-production Mach 1 heads, which were the large valve heads, and put them on the 302, and they went racing with these cars. Well, in any event, they make a beautiful pair, and that's why I put these two out here, is just so we could kind of compare them. The other one you see is in red. This car came out of the Atlanta DSO. That's the district sales office. That's how Ford works things. It's called DSOs. And it was delivered to Gadsden, Alabama to John Thomas Ford. But when it was delivered, it was medium blue. How about that? This car was restored in the early 2000s, and that owner wanted red. So he changed it from blue to red, but it does have a white interior, which makes it fairly rare. Most of these cars had a black interior, like the Grabber Orange car over there. This one has a white interior, and I bought it because it is red with white interior. It's a strikingly good-looking car. I don't mind the color change. And another thing is unfortunately the Boss engine is missing from this. So the people did the next best thing in the early 2000s when they restored it to the color change, is they put in a 351 Cleveland, which is no slouch, okay? Well, anyway, let's take a look. There you can see the white interior. This is what I consider the Driver Plus car. It's a very good looking car, there's no doubt, but because it is missing the original block and it's a color change, I classify it as just a premium driver. It's very nice. It does have Firestone bias ply, which are correct. Well, they're not exactly correct, but they are bias ply, which is factory correct. This yellow car, as you can see, has the correct Goodyear bias ply, and those are the original Boss wheels because they're a little less than perfect. Don't get me wrong, they're still beautiful, but they're a little less than perfect, which tells me that they're really very original wheels. These are repops because these wheels on here are literally perfect. And there's no way they could come from the factory and be that perfect, so those are the repops. But I do like the Magnums on here. Let's take a look in here at this 351 Cleveland, and I'm going to pop the hood on both of them, okay? And the reason being is you can tell just a bigger engine, all right? Much bigger, but very nice. Not perfect. It's missing a lot of the factory stuff. If we come over here, you'll see that this one indeed has all the factory equipment on it, and is very correct. But you can tell it's a 302. Just look at it, the size of the valve covers and how they sit in there. Very beautiful, very well done. So take a look at that engine. See, it's got the smog stuff on it. Very correctly done, very nice. High option car from Encino, California. And then this car is a Metuchen car delivered at the Atlanta DSO to Alabama. But you can see it's a 351. It's just a bigger engine in there. So not a bad deal. I'll tell you what, this car humps pretty good, man. It's got a good low end to it. This car, what is lacking in low end, it's got the high end. And holy mackerel does it have the high end. I would tell you out of both cars, this thing gets up and boogies, man. It's amazing. And that would too if it had the same engine, but it's got a 351 Cleveland. It's just a different thing. It's not right or wrong. It's just different. But anyway, let's take a look inside. This car has the rim blow steering wheel, has the correct Hurst shifter. Oh, there we go. It's got stock mufflers, so it's kind of quiet, but let's go back and listen to the cam. Check this out. Solid lifter. 302 stroker, 4-bolt main, very, very special engine. Body and paint are beautiful. This thing has been all done underneath. This is the show car, and that's the driver. And I love this car, this red one, because I hop on it, I really drive it a lot harder. Well, I wouldn't say harder than this one, but I don't speed on this one because of the pedigree, and it is a show car, so I don't drive it as much. But one of the absolute best features about this car is this shaker hood. The shaker hood is probably among the best looking fresh air packages. It may not be the most effective. It's definitely not like a Ram Air 4 in Chevrolet, but it's extremely attractive. And then also, remember, this is a homologation car. This car came from California. It was signed by the championship driver for the 1970 season from Ford. His name was Parnelli Jones. His signature is right there. And then a personal friend of mine who was the sales manager for Pasca Ford, his name is Dean Gregson. He signed the car over here about 4 months ago. So a great car with a lot of history. This is the show version that I don't drive a lot. And then over here you have the driver car, and I just love this car in the red. It's just, I don't know, it's not that I particularly love red that much, but just car looks so good with red. Uh-oh. Gotta give it some juice. All right. Rumpity, rumpity, rumpity. This one's got a cam too. Very nice, very pretty. It looks the part of a Boss 302. It's got the Boss 302 stickers, but alas, it is a 351 with the white interior, very striking. Again, factory mufflers. But there's no mistaking it. It's a nice cam profile. Hold on. And here we go. Let's take a quick look here. Again, delivered to John Thomas Ford, Gadsden, Alabama. It came out of the Atlanta DSO. And it is one of 173 cars with this trim code in the blue, if you recall. This car was blue. And then we'll wrap this thing up by looking at the Marti report on this one. Grabber orange, 350 track lock, delivered to Ralph Williams Ford, Encino, California. And this one is one of 193 with these paint and trim codes. So two very rare color combinations. So there you have it, Ford fans. Hopefully this was informative and fun for you to watch, as it was for me to make. This is Gauze Garage. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great weekend.